Alright, we're back again, this time with a very different asset. So, again, same project as I've been showing a few times. Last time I showed you I was using the Odin inspector to make my own inspector views for my scripts, which, love it. This time I want to show you the tooltip system, because originally I was making my own tooltip, and I think I showed you in maybe a few months back. So when you build something, you could, in the build menu, while only in the build menu, you hover your mouse over and then you could see the tooltip. But it was like flashing, and I just couldn't get it to stop doing that, and it was really making things impossible. So what do you do? What do you do? I searched the internet, and then I was like, of course, why don't we check out the asset store as usual? And I did. Clicked my assets and I searched tooltip. Again, another asset I got in a package I didn't know I had. I downloaded, and it was called ProTips. Let's show it in game first. So let's go to a place where we can actually build. So originally, remember, there was a lot of tables and chairs here. I removed those and turned those into prefabs, so when you go into the build menu, you have them right here instead. And actually the tooltip system is already in use here. So for example, tooltip, you can see there's a title and there's a information box, and you can customize the tooltips with formatting similar to HTML. And it's just working great, both in the menus and on the assets themselves. So the chair, for example, oh, there we go. Hover over the items. I don't think I added in-game tooltips to the items, which I will show you today how I do. I think I added it to this picture. Maybe not. Maybe it was this one. I'm pretty sure I added it to something. Yes, there we go. You can see it was just a matter of distance. Picture, red. You can see I colored the text red. Very standard picture. This one has no tooltip, but in here it does. So I expanded on the easy build system to include the information I wanted to show here in the menu, and on the prefabs themselves I added the tooltip trigger. And basically all it consists of is like 3 scripts. So up here I got my native managers, which is the managers I get from assets I use, right? Below I have my own manager. So here is the tooltip manager that came with ProTips. Is it ProTip? I think. Let's see. They have a menu here. Yeah, ProTips. And a quick setup. Quick setup just adds this manager to the scene. And I have not yet touched anything in this asset. Maybe I touched the time. You can see it says tooltip delay here. Maybe I touched that. That's all I did. And then let's find one of the assets. Come on, Unity. I found if they don't update, you just Control S as in save, then it updates, right? So this picture, for example, this prefab, I added or changed one thing and added one thing to make it work. So I added this script called tooltip trigger, which is the one that detects mouse over. And I added a tooltip style, which I was making on my own. You can make your own, so we'll take a look later. And basically a title text and a body text. That's it. So I add this script, then it works in game. But also the menu. So when we have the build menu here, of course, all these items don't exist. I pull them in from the easy build system on the fly when you open the menu, so we can use the different tabs. So you can see here when it's done all the items prefabs. Oh, that's loud again. Pretzel is the music app I'm using. I got it from Streamlabs OBS. It's really inconsistent in volume. Sometimes it's crazy loud, sometimes not. Anyway, Easy Build Manager, you have the prefabs here, and basically on the prefabs themselves, I have the script, but then I edited the piece behavior just like before when I was implementing the price system, so you actually spend money or get money when you buy or sell. So under the general, you can see I have a menu item or variable called my tool title. Below I have my tooltip content, so this is a multiline. It's not shown as multiline, it is multiline. And this is actually the content for the tooltip, and this one is the title. So whenever I call the UI to show me the items in the build menu in the middle there, it's this script, right? Let's load that up in the background. Well, that was fast. Very unusual. So you can see on my button prefab, let's find the button prefab. Build menu. Where did I place the build menu? This is the top panel, this is the debug panel. We don't use the debug panel anymore. Could actually delete it. Here we go, the selection area. So the selection area is this box here. And the bottom template, or button template, sorry. It has a script on it called the tooltip trigger, because this is the button that will be copied and placed for each item along the menu, and it's just empty. And on the build mode enable, I have this script. It's from Easy Build System, which I modified, so I renamed it in case they update at some point. So we can actually go down and we can see the two last ones. I actually get the component from the button itself called tooltip trigger. That's the new script. Call a function called set text, and then when you write these, let's just do a game object, get component tooltip trigger. You can see when we set text, it's requesting a parameter name. The parameter name is a reference to the template you're using. So on the template I created, there is a parameter called %title%. There's also a parameter called body text, and those are what we're referencing here. So basically we're just running through the EBS for this category and adding the tooltip title and tooltip content for each item. And when we hit play, ignore that one. That is how we get the different tooltips for each item. On the prefabs themselves, I modified the piece behavior script again. The piece behavior, let's edit script, is the EBS script, and it's quite long. It's sort of okay documented inside, but you can see here I added my two strings for the tooltip title and the tooltip content, and that's only for the menu. And I'm thinking, yes, here we go. Then of course we display it in the custom UI. Clearly this is not Odin Inspector as we talked about in the last video. This is the UI built with the EBS. So I displayed the tool title and the tool content, which are the ones we actually can see right here, these two. That's it. Then I went into each prefab. Let's go to scene view. And let's pull a table out. And I can see it has a description and a title and a description, and that's for the menu. But you can see there's nothing on it, so it will not do anything. And if we look at the bottoms, you can see we need to add this trigger. So let's just minimize all these. Check the bar table. We're gonna add tooltip trigger. Now it's asking, what style do you want? And I think that's really, really nice, because it shows me or gives me ideas. I can create like a tutorial scene where we're showing a neutral style tooltip or guide, because I can see this tooltip system being used as a guide. Click here, do this, right? Because you can control where they're placed and you can call them on events. So I made my own style, or attempted to, at least. There we go. Development tooltip. Let's just pull that in here. And that enables these two boxes. And one thing I haven't done yet is when you build, I will actually want to pull the information from EBS, so I only need to add it once. But let's just do it manually. This is a table. And when I want to color the text, we can go. Yeah, what are these called now? Broken bracket. Color equals hashtag, and we use RGB. So red, green, blue. This is a table. Color. Nice. Okay. We hit apply, so it applies to the prefab. And I delete it from the scene. If we then go in and play. And if we hide this. We go to an area where we can actually place the table. Open the build menu. You can see it's right here. I need to make some icons, right? So you can see the tooltip is different. I place it, and now it's actually showing what we just wrote. It says table in the info. Using red letters, this is a table. Nice. Very, very nice. Very easy to work with. Again, one of these assets I really enjoy. I didn't read a single line of the manual or guide. It was very intuitive. Let's take a look at what they actually give you with the asset. So there's a very good demo scene. Of course, I'm using the new input system. So when you use the new input system and you have some of these assets, it won't work just out like that. That's because on the event system, it's using the old input system. You can see this is still using the old. So if we clear and hit play, we'll just get a lot of issues. You can see it's just counting problems. So to fix that, replace with new input system. If the touch input module is still there, you can disable it or simply just remove it. I'm just gonna hit save, because I might open the same scene again later. There we go. Now it's fine, and we can see the different styles that actually comes with the tooltip, right? And you can see how they look. Yes, very nice. They have a demo scene as well. Legacy text, wall space, tooltip, style, showcase. What number is this one? This is what we are looking at. ProTips demo. Let's try it. I think this is the one I was thinking about. Yes. So let's just zoom in a bit. So here you can see example of how this tooltip system can be used. You can adjust the delay, fade time, clean, simple, cover, sci-fi. It goes to this scene. I would like to go back to the demo, yes. Trigger tooltips from event. This is like what I was thinking about with the tutorial, right? So we trigger an event and then we show tooltips you have to complete. Dynamic tooltips, which is created at runtime, as you can see, but that's also what we're already doing in our own prototype. When we show the build menu, it's created at runtime. This one, yeah, a demo scene that's not working back. And of course we can't go back because I didn't update the event system, so it's not receiving input. One of the things we have to do when working with this system, let's see, is this updated? It is now, at least. Remove, save, play. It's very, very small. We need to adjust the sizes. I don't know what resolution this is being created at. What if we go maximized? Well, it's readable. It's still kind of small, but that's really up to me as a developer to adjust, right? So one of the things I wanted to show is actually how these different styles is working. So if we go to scene, we find the canvas. It's here. It's facing this way. Fine. So when we click these, you can actually find the trigger. There we go. So we can see it has the trigger and it has a different style. Each of them has a different style. And you can see preview down here, right? So if I click a style like this one, you can see it's under tooltip prefabs. I have another one here I was working on. TMP means Text Mesh Pro. Without TMP, that's normal Unity text. When I double click the prefab, you can see it's a box. You have the different sides for the box. It's just like normal, what do we call it, sprites. I haven't worked with sprites in a long time. So if you have a shape, it's cut out, so no matter how big you make it, it will always look nice, because if you cut the corners off. And then you have the text, and it's marked as this percent body sign text. There we go. And this is actually the reference I use when I call it from the script. That's it. That's all you need to do. If we take some of the more, I think there's these, they have a lot of graphics. But in reality, it's just one image. And then you just stretch the image. And here you can see you have the title, you have the body text as well. And there's nothing crazy. And if we open the image, it should open up in Adobe Photoshop. It's loading on the other screen. And I really want to give credit to the developer for this, because when you have it open, all the layers are there, so you can make your own adjustments, make your own tooltips. Maybe you just want to replace a part of it or color it or something like that, right? And it's just there ready to use. That's really nice. Development scene. Let's just see what this error was complaining about. Was well, let's not play maximized. Let's play focused. What's the problem here? Line 50. Title text. Oh. Yes. So, considering you just saw me delete a debug window, that's probably why it's not happy anymore. Let's see, what are we putting in here? This entire thing is not being used anymore. So we could just delete it, but let's just do like this for now. Then we should be all right and everything should be okay again. There we go. So now we play, we go to a room we want to decorate. I open my menu and I can see, oh, this is the testing stuff menu. Let's place a bed, chair, table, picture, picture. Discrete light under the bed. Let's move the bed. Actually, delete the bed. Place it on top of the light. There we go. And the tooltip is working. The one we just added. So that's really nice. We can have a sit down. Think about life and our tooltips. And that's really all I wanted to show you. Tooltip system. I think it's... I'm not even sure if it's new or old, or there's no menus, there's no about. Maybe there is in... oh, there is a user guide. Oh, I think we talked about that last time. We talked about APIs, menus. So that's one thing I found that's missing in ProTips. I didn't find any API. Sorry about that. And when I was trying to update the script for the build menu, let's see, build mode, this one, where I had to call set text and parameter. It was very nice. I could see it required a parameter, but game object, get component, tooltip trigger. So I was looking to these, what can we actually do with the tooltip? And it's like, I was looking for title and I was looking for content. No, and then I was like, okay, what do we have? Oh, we actually have one called set text. We also got set image. So I was like, okay, set text, parameter name and string. Of course, it makes sense. A parameter is I need to select where do I want to set this text, but it was not described anywhere. So I had to go to the code, find the set. Oh, text, set text. Oh, here we go. Void set text. Parameterized fields, null, parameterized. Okay, now it makes sense. So we actually read the parameters from this profile we attached to each tooltip, and that profile was the UI where we typed in %sign title. So we could also maybe type in %sign my amazing tooltip %sign, but then we need to reference that name when we call the tooltip. And I haven't really tried if the text field doesn't exist as it says right here. It's nice described. I like the comments. Create the field and set the text. So I'm wondering, so if I call a text that's not present in the system, does it just create a new field? Yeah, apparently it does. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. You can just disable that part if you don't want it. So the only thing you really have to do using this yourself is you have to create this prefab where you set up your style. So you can see I took the copper style and added it to the, what's it called, silver symbol. I just did that in Photoshop. I took copper in, took silver in, and I copied it over because I like this this style here, right? You even have the eye. I should really adjust this eye because it was too big. You can see when we were in game. Too big and too annoying. Ah, 15 maybe. 18. Yes, better. So you can actually see I have some layers I have disabled. That's the white frame. The top. So basically all I did was I disabled those I didn't like and copied in my own layers and enabled those, and then you just hit save. Done. And you can see it's already updated. So now the eye is more fitting, right? That's really nice. That's really, really nice. Tooltip Unity Pro Tooltip. Recommended? Yes, I can recommend it. However, the documentation part is nice. It's nice for most users. It shows you how to create a tooltip. It looks like getting started. Yes, import, create scene, panel, UI. Yes. Dynamic fields. Yes, these are the ones we just talked about. Oh, they're actually described here. Let's see. However, they're not provided as or described as parameters. So when we call it from a script, I need to know. Oh, it's actually the parameter. Oh, okay, never mind. Sometimes you just RTFM read the manual. Creating your own tooltip shows right here. Images. Yes. Approved. Get it. Use it. I really enjoy this. Well, enjoyed. I only used it for maybe a couple of hours, but so far I really enjoy it, and it looks really good. So in my book, 5 stars. Gonna go on the asset store and rate this 5 stars and say really nice job, guys. I don't even know when it's updated or not. That's just we can take a look together. Asset store, ProTips. There we go. Releases. Oh, 1 year ago. But it's still working fine. Well, as a bonus, I'll show you. Sometimes when I'm missing an asset, and I have collected assets since 2012 or something like that, I don't know which assets I have. Of course, clearly I can see some of them are purchased and several are, right? But then I go into my profile, my assets, and then I simply just search for, well, in this case we needed a tooltip. Apparently I have another system. This one is deprecated, but that doesn't really scare me away. Sometimes I use really old assets that's not really supported in the store anymore. And sometimes I don't, but I'm not getting scared by this. The only thing this really tells me is sometimes to get this working in my project, I need to adjust the code a bit or something. Of course, maybe the libraries has changed, and most of it is fairly simple. It's just because Unity sometimes changed the naming or syntax of some of the functions in the engine. But that's all, luckily very well described in the Unity documentation, which, by the way, is in a Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, press like if you like, press down if you didn't. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. Somebody just mentioned to me my Discord invite was outdated. Apparently, sometimes they change the the Discord invitation link for I don't know why. So I will try to update it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.